What's going on, guys? It's your boy Sleazy here, and the mainstream media would have you believe that Gamergate2 is dying and nobody's paying attention to it anymore. But that's not the case at all. And it's gotten to the point where The Verge is hiring Kotaku writers to write articles for it about Gamergate2 to make it seem like nobody cares. But the fact is, The Verge hired Kotaku writers to try and downplay Gamergate 2.0 when the Steam community is up over 300,000 people. 300,000. And they're coping and seething so hard. And they're lying about everything. That I want to take some points out of this article and show how full of BS they are. And how Gamergate 2.0 is not the smaller and sadder version of the original Gamergate, but the more successful version for gamers. Because they can't admit it. They can't admit that they're the baddies. But here we go. I've gone through and I've highlighted this section, so this part should be pretty quick. So they go on, to start off this. The Discord server at the center of Gamergate 2.0 is, in some respects, like any other community. While I was there, I observed people talking about their days, their jobs, their interest. Its members stream themselves playing Bejeweled and showing off their personal video game development projects. But one chat room over, the server was filled with racist memes, sexism, and ableist slurs, anti-Semitic messages, and incitations of violence against women and people of color. No, this stuff doesn't exist. That stuff does not exist at all. You know how it doesn't exist? Because Discord is run by furries and people on your side of Gamergate. If that were true, it would already be gone. But it's not. You know why? Because you're lying. This growing group of people want you to believe themselves a new incarnation of Gamergate. A harassment campaign started in 2014 that targeted women speaking out against misogyny in video games industry. No. It was about women forcing their way in to video games. And then once they got in there, the goodwill they had, they quickly turned around to extort video game companies and get rid of men in the industry. It's funny. It's absolutely funny to me. I'm gonna go off on a tangent here. It's absolutely funny to me how when a man forces his way into women's space, he's told he can't be there. But when a woman blackmails and threatens her way into a male space, she's supposed to be there. You know what? Men, if you didn't watch my previous video, walk in to Planet Fitness, sign up, say you identify as female. You can have a beard, you don't have to dress like a woman, and just walk into the women's locker room. You can do it. That's what they fought for. These people are so weird. You know, maybe maybe if women are so uncomfortable, they'll start being like, yeah, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Going on with the article. But this time, instead of assembling under the false banner of ethics and journalism, this new campaign has chosen wokeism and Sweet Baby as the focus of their grievances. The result has been a wave of bigoted harassment targeting marginalized developers, journalists, and gamers. Is it, though? Is it? Because it's funny that when I can say that no, nobody's actually doing that, it's you guys who are running the harassment campaigns. It's you guys who are chasing people down trying to dox them. It's you guys who are trying to contact people's employers. And you get community noted when saying it's anybody else. Here we go. Chris Kindred. That's crazy. It's one of these people is an active participant in a harassment campaign. The harassment campaign was begun by Chris Kindred when they targeted a Steam curator that wasn't breaking any rules and encouraged followers to report them. Then Chris called people Nazis with no evidence as such. Who's running the harassment campaign? The Verge. The article goes on to say, the things they say in our inboxes is the most evil stuff you've ever seen in your life. Said David Bedard, co-founder and CEO of Sweet Baby, in an interview with The Verge. You guys are just circle jerking each other. Nobody has actually put out the messages that this is happening. But we can put out the messages of everything you're doing and absolutely prove beyond a reasonable suspicion that it's you guys running the harassment campaign. Like, let's go here. From Ash Parrish. I hear you and understanding that this is where we part, ideologically at least. I'll share the conversation I had with my editors about this because in preparation for my piece, I struggled with a particular bit about the conversation I had really helped me understand Cabrutus and his ilk have a grievance against Sweet Baby Inc. that is rooted in racism, misogyny, and no basis in how the reality of video games work. I'll play the video again. How about that? How about that? Let's just go back to this video here.
Which I did for many, many years. Put this stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research,
you better ask for consultants. Air quotes consultants. I know there's I gotta find it again. I'll try and throw it in as a little edit here on how many writers Sweet Baby Inc. puts in game titles.
Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
If you don't give us what you want, we're going to do something to your company. That's blackmail. That's extortion. But you're saying you guys don't do any of that. But you, in your own words, admit it. The Neo Gamergate fervor surrounding Sweet Baby Inc. started with a Brazilian streamer by the name of Cabrutus. In January, he created the Steam curation page called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, which the page's description explains is a tracker for games involved with Sweet Baby Inc. According to Cabrutus and the thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands, not just thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands, he's recruited through his Steam group and Discord server. Developers have no choice but to make these woke narrative changes. Sweet Baby Inc. Detected argues that the game companies are forced to add wokeness to improve their ESG scores, a measure of environmental, social, and governance considerations if they want to land investors. Yes, it's required. It is actually required. I've done it in previous videos. If they want to be a publicly traded company and have investors, they have to have ESG in their companies. That's why it is other videos I have made about Capcom and other companies. The games get censored from Japan and Korea when they hit the American side of the companies. I've covered it in multiple videos. It's not happening overseas. It's quite literally as soon as it hits the American market, it has to be censored. It is no better than China or North Korea or Russia censoring things. The widely circulated example involves clips of a Talk Belair, a black woman. What does that have to do with anything? Gave at the Game Developers Conference in 2019. In it, she counsels the developers to terrify their bosses with the threat of cancellation if the requests for inclusivity are not met. But a look at the clip's full context tells a different story. It's clear Belair didn't want the developers to scare their superiors with inclusivity. Instead, she wanted them to enlist support of their employees, those on the marketing community side who stand to receive the most backlash from players if those concerns aren't taken seriously. Whoa. Hold on. So let's back this up because we're going to go over these two paragraphs real quick again. The most widely circulated example involves clips of Belair when she talked at a game conference in 2019. In it, she counsels developers to terrify their bosses with the threat of cancellation if the requests for inclusivity are not met. They say that's out of context, but then go back to say, we want you to enlist your employees, those on the marketing community side. If you don't do this, there will be backlash. That's the exact same thing. We're not saying what's happening, but we're saying it's happening. Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh my God. they can, they can't even figure out how to write it in a way that it says it doesn't mean what they actually mean. We're not going to cancel you. It's not what it says, but we will totally cancel you. These writers are just the dumbest people on the planet. All right. They consult wrote Mary Kenny, the associative narrative director on the forthcoming Wolverine game from Insomniac Games, who worked on another Sweet Baby Inc. title, The Marvel Spider-Man 2. The one that everybody hated, the one that everybody had complaints about, the one that everybody said, why are you forcing all this stuff down our throats? Yeah, that one. They do research, pitch ideas, give feedback, and even write scripts. Well, that's not consulting. That's blackmailing your way into a company and then writing for it. And then when it fails, say, wasn't us. You wrote this. It's literally got your name on it. Wasn't us. But none of this gets into the game unless the core dev team agrees with it. Unless you threaten to blackmail them and cancel them and ruin their lives. Like, that never happened. They just threatened to cancel people and ruin their lives if they don't get what they want. You can't make half this shit up. It is deeply ironic that one of the group's stated purposes is to rally against forced diversity in games when developers are often forced to make their games more homogenous. That's not true at all. Because you just said they have to comply with ESG. You just said they write on the games. You just admitted that they blackmail their way into these video games. Oh, this one gets great. I have never in my entire career seen anyone pressure a developer to make a character more queer or less white. Christina Pollock, a veteran, air quotes, veteran game developer. I have, however, seen many instances of them saying they need to be straight. Well, who is Christina Pollock? That profile picture should sum it up perfectly. Someone who is blackmailed and threatened their way into the game industry. One of the transgengas. All right, continuing the article. My problem with most media nowadays is that they include black or alphabet characters without giving them some thoughts about them, wrote SBI's Discord moderator. But they forget the most important aspect of the character, the relatability and how they feel like a person that you can meet in real life. But that need for the character depth is the exact reason why developers contract with Sweet Baby Inc. No, it's not. Oh, how do I put this? No one gives a shit. No one gives a single flying fuck about transgender characters in video games except for you weirdos. And that is why the video games are failing. That's why when the video games come out on Steam and we can see real reviews, downvoted to oblivion. Nobody likes it. It's nothing but complaints. When the movies, when they interject this and force people to be gay and non-binary and submit to the transgender alphabet, the movies absolutely flop. And Hollywood has lost billions of dollars for it in a single year. Single year. Not counting all the years. Because then we're looking at pretty much all the profits they've made over the last 10 years. Nobody actually wants to watch this garbage except for you. But you don't even watch it, do you? You just want to pat yourself on the back and say, look, we did a good job. We put transgender in a comic book or a movie or a video game. Nobody wants this but you. And no, we don't make women ugly. Oh, you don't? Are you sure about that? Do we need to talk about this? For unknown? What you did to a fairly attractive woman? No? Does that not count? Or look, this one's just a funny meme, so I'm gonna share it because I think it deserves it. The quality put into this. This is Horizon Forbidden. What they have done to what used to be a moderately attractive female video game character now looks like this. And that's not even a joke. That is legitimately what that character looks like. Because, you gotta make them fat. You gotta make them ugly. But that is why everybody was so mad that people were loving Stellar Blade's characters. Because the women look like women, regardless of what you say. But you morons can't figure that out and ruin everything. There's a reason people say everything that the woke touches goes to shit. Everything woke goes to shit. It's because everything you try and do turns to absolute dog shit that nobody wants. Anyway, I've gone off on quite the tangent here. But again, Sweet Baby Ink Detection is up to 306,000 people in the community. But we're a small, sadder version of Gamergate 1.0. You know, the ones where the women forced their way into video games, implemented their DEI ESG garbage, and canceled men and forced men to kill themselves because they wanted to own the space. I will have zero sympathy for all the women and all the transgengos that are laid off when these game companies finally shut the doors. I will have zero. I hope they go bankrupt. I hope they end up in the streets. And I know that's unpopular, but you shouldn't wish on anybody. These people want us dead. They don't want us to be quiet. They want us dead. They've admitted so. You ask them, what else are we supposed to do when they try and cancel us? Can we work at a McDonald's? No. Can I get a job in the same field? No. Can I work anywhere? Well, no. Well, what am I supposed to do? No, not my problem. They want us dead. And I will have no sympathy for anybody who wants to kill me, ending up homeless and on the streets. Zero. None whatsoever. Fuck off. Deal with it. They got hit by a truck tomorrow, I'd laugh. That's the reality of it. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section, guys. While you're there, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this one out. Till the next one, guys, be easy like sleazy.